Hey guys, Rich here. Welcome back to another Brick Scene video. Today we're going to be doing another Speed Champions review, and it's actually quite an interesting car. It is of course the 1970 Ferrari 512M. So first up, I want to say a big thanks to my friends at Toyco for sponsoring this video. If you're in New Zealand, make sure you go along to their website and check out their deals before anyone else. They've got all these sets and more at 15% off at the moment. But like I say, big thanks to Toyco for looking after me and sorting me these sets out for review. So set number 76906, the Ferrari 512M, 291 pieces. It'll cost you 20 US dollars, 18 Great British pounds, 20 euros. Down here in New Zealand, it's going to cost you 35 New Zealand dollars. That is actually an increase of $5 down this way. I'm not too sure if it's gone up in price around the rest of the world, but $5, it's a bit of an increase. But we'll see if it's worth its money. So inside the box, you're going to get 2 bags, an instruction book, you're going to get the build, and you're going to get a single minifig. But what is the Ferrari 512M? Well, I did a bit of research. The Ferrari 512M is a modified version of the 512S, hence the M on the end of it. Now, 5 being a 5-litre, 12-cylinder, V12 engine. They were made in 1969, 1970. There was 25 of them made. So what happened is they didn't do so well in the 24-hour Le Mans race that year, and they decided to modify the car, hence, like I said, the M. And they raced that one in the very next race, which was a 9-hour race in Kialama, I think is the name of the place. Anyway, they won that race. But Enzo Ferrari didn't want to carry on developing, so they moved on to the next car, and subsequently the 512S's were sold on to private racers, which were then modified, and you can still find some 512Ms around to this day. But like I say, only 25 of them made, makes this car very, very rare. And in particular this number 4 Ferrari car, because it won that 9-hour race before essentially being discontinued. So now that we know a little bit more about the car, let's take a look at the actual set. I personally think that they've managed to capture all the details quite well. You know, it's quite a rounded thing at the front. You were never going to capture that at this scale with the pieces that we have on hand. But I think what they've done is they've captured those massive big sweeping front guards, that low nose at the front. They've managed to capture that shape and that overall detail really, really well. As well as that tabletop back end with literally nothing underneath it. It's quite a different back end to anything I've ever seen. Very, very out there as these old sports cars are. They're very concept, they're very unique. They're right on the cutting edge of technology at the time, of course. So all the aerodynamics and etc. look a lot different to cars these days, but I do think that they've captured it quite well. I do love those sweeping lines going down into those air intakes behind the canopy there. Note that canopy is a printed piece. Same with the little Ferrari logos on the side there. You do get extra little Ferrari logos on the little 1x1 tiles, because I guess it would be cheaper just to chuck more of those in than to have separate non-printed ones and the necessary printed ones. Quite interesting. Also those 1x2 tiles on the headlights, on the side of the headlights there as well, those are also printed. But as with these cars, a lot of stickers on it as well. Well, when I say a lot of stickers, not too many. This one didn't have as many as some others that I've seen. But look, I love it. I think it's a great representation of this car. It was quite easy to put together. I didn't find it took me as long as the Mercedes Project One, but still a really, really enjoyable build as well. To see the techniques that they use around those front guards, as well as those little rear curved pieces as well, that's an upside down build there. I think it comes together quite nicely. But definitely that sort of front end is my favorite part of this car. Would I change anything? Yes, I probably would if I could. I would make the rear wheels a little bit bigger. I mean, the actual car has monster rear wheels, but I think there's probably other wheels and tires that we could have used there that would have represented them better. It's a very, very small thing, don't get me wrong, but I would love to have seen bigger, fatter wheels on the back, but I think they've captured the essence of this car really, really well. The inside is very simple. You've got the steering wheel and the instrument gauge. Just room for one in this one, of course, because it is actually a race car. But no, nice little cockpit. And as I said, that printed piece there as well, a nice touch. I really, really like the back end on this car. I think they've captured that bonkers back end that, you know, it's almost like a tabletop with nothing underneath it. I really, really like it. Now moving on to the minifig. What I like about this is it's so simple. If we compare the fire suit to the Mercedes figure that we looked at in the last review, quite different. You don't have all the sponsors all over the fire suit, as was probably the way when, you know, 1960, 1970, they weren't full of sponsors like they are today. So I think it's the right type of fire suit. I think the printing looks really nice. I like how the red carries on into the legs there as well. It comes with a hairpiece too. Yeah, no other accessories, but I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So in conclusion, a really, really nice set. And what is ultimately a very, very rare car. It obviously has some history. Not as much history as I thought that it might have had when I started researching it. But I do really like the fact that Lego have made this car because I think it's a nice little model. I'm going to love displaying this one. It was a super enjoyable build. Some of the techniques are a little bit more simple than that Mercedes AMG Project 1 that I built the other day, but still a really, really nice car with some quirky little details. Awesome stuff, awesome stuff. Hey, look, big thanks again to my buddies at Toyco for supplying these sets. If you like this sort of stuff, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you on the next review.